Well, it's been a tough run of results really over the last few weeks, hasn't it? 4 defeats out of 6, but you had a really tough run of games. Those defeats have come against all sides in the top 6. What has it done for confidence, for the mood around the place?
The result on the second half performance against Leicester probably knocked the lads back a little bit, but then we had Monday off, we reflected, we reviewed it, done a debrief, spoke about what's expected a little bit positionally, and there was for me certainly the last 20 minutes a lot of frustration shown with the players, but then I reminded them that 2 games previous to that, everything's rosy. We've just beat Newcastle comfortably at Villa Park. We've gone to Manchester United, drew 2-2, should have beat them. But then we've played 2 out of the top 4 teams. Got narrowly beaten by Chelsea on the night, 2-1. We were pushing them for an equaliser the last 10 minutes. And then we got beat by a team who were 8 points clear of Manchester City, who were highly acclaimed in Europe, not just the Premier League. So, it's certainly not all doom and gloom. Sometimes you have to put it all into a little bit of perspective, and we've certainly done that. There's lots of things that we've learned from the last 2 performances and results against Chelsea and Leicester, but we're learning all the time in this league, and what we have to do is learn and progress.
That being said then, at this stage of the season, are you concerned at all with your position in the table?
Not really looking at the position at the moment. I'm just looking at the next game and trying to get 3 points. We're always looking to do that. We're going to Sheffield United, a team who I really like. Chris Wilder's done unbelievable there. They're a team that's got promoted like ourselves and are unbeaten away from home in the Premier League, which just shows how you can do, with a team that's been settled for a long time. We're a team that has been thrown together in the summer. We've kept a nucleus of the players who were here last season in terms of the spine, and a lot of them are getting used to the Premier League, and will get better for all the experiences that we've had so far.
What do you see as the biggest threat in the way that Sheffield United are playing?
I think they've got threats all over the pitch. I mean, their wing backs both scored, the goals last week at Norwich City. They haven't conceded many goals. I know a couple of their back 3, Jack O'Connell and John Egan. I had both of them at Brentford, so know them well. And we had a really good game at Villa Park last season, 3-0 down with 12 minutes to go, and got back to 3-3. So it'll be a good game, a good entertaining game. And I've got total respect for what Sheffield United have done so far.
2 managers, boyhood fans of your respective clubs. Do you think that gives the 2 of you a different perspective on your job?
I noticed Chris said yesterday he probably adds a little bit more pressure on both of us, being local lads as well, because everybody feels that they can have a chat with you. And I've spoken before about, going to my local golf club and people asking me about my players and stuff like that. So Chris will have exactly the same. But we've both been in the game for a long time, and we know what our jobs are about, and it's going and getting results for the team.
Do you have to go out in disguise now, do you?
No, there's not much I can do to disguise my Barnet, so... No.
And in terms of Chris, you talked about your admiration for him. What do you think makes him a good manager? What do you like about his style? How well do you know him?
Well, I just think the way he's adapted to every league that he's played in. He has a style about him, how he wants his team to play. They're very, very hard working, and that's something that we have to match tomorrow. I spent a month playing alongside Chris at Walsall many moons ago. So the way he was as a player, he is as a manager, and works hard and demands that from the players.
You both had to do it the hard way almost, and you get teams promoted to get your chances in the Premier League. Do you feel that sense of pressure as well to prove that the likes of yourselves, these English managers, young English managers coming through, can do it in the Premier League?
I think we'd both say it's the only way we know. I don't think there's any easy way for young English managers to get there. You've got to go and work really hard, and we've both done that. And now we're at the top table, which is the Premier League, and both wanting our teams to go and perform each week. And if you can get performances, then you get results.
You talked about Sheffield United's strong defence. Is that a key area for you to resolve at the moment? Is that what you're looking at, focusing on?
I think the other thing for us is we've got to be tougher to beat as well. I felt certainly in the last 2 games we've given Chelsea and Leicester too many big chances in the game, and a little bit was naivety, a little bit was positioning, but we've had a good review and reflection on that, and the players spoke at length about what they feel they need to get better at, and we'll certainly take that into the game.
Tyrone Mings and Matt Targett both had to go off in that game against Leicester. What's the latest on their injuries?
Matt Targett trained yesterday, so he'll be available. Tyrone Mings hasn't. He's got a hamstring injury, and games are fine margins as well. He gets a hamstring injury. Felt that he could stay on, and Leicester ended up scoring in that period. And them are margins that can sometimes win or lose your games. But thankfully for us, it's not in the belly of the hamstring. If there's a hamstring injury you can get that you want, that's the best one. Hopefully he'll be pain-free after this weekend and then can keep progressing. But each individual is different in terms of how quickly they get back to fitness.
Any other injury concerns for you?
No, got a full squad apart from them 2, and obviously Jedstey is a long term. And
you've got your League Cup quarter-final coming up next week against Liverpool. Do you have one eye on that at all in terms of this weekend? No,
I'll address that after the game against Sheffield United. We'll be in Sunday, Monday and preparing for that Liverpool game. But first and foremost, it's Sheffield United and looking to get 3 points and get back on track.
And after that game, you've got 3 games, the next 3 games against teams in the bottom 3. Could this be a really crucial period for you in your season?
I think they're all crucial periods, every game that you go into. As I say, we've come through a real tough period of playing. Certainly in the last 7 games or 8 games, I think we've played the top 4. Including Manchester and then Manchester United away and as well. So we've come through a real tough period of games, not probably got the points that we would have liked or probably deserved at times as well. But we've got games now against teams who are in and around us and competing with each other. So the players know what they need to do to perform and to get them results. Cheers, thank you.
Mings didn't exacerbate the injury by staying on as well, did he? I mean, it's not as bad as it could be.
No, and as I said after the game, he was adamant that he wanted to carry on. He believed that he was okay. Unfortunately, ended up, with us losing a goal because of that. But it's not made the injury any worse, no.
You mentioned that you'd played with Chris Wilder for a month at Walsall. Even in just kind of 30 days or so, did you get the impression that there was a manager in the making?
No, at that time we were both 19 years old, I think, or 20 years old, and just enjoying playing football and trying to make our way in the game. So, I'm sure he didn't look at me and I didn't look at him and think, is there a future manager or coach? But I remember a quiet lad who came down from Sheffield who, was determined to work hard and, get the most out of his playing career.
When I certainly sit and look at you at a press conference, I see Chris Wilder too. Both of you don't show any signs of pressure whatsoever. Yet Chris mentioned that there could be extra pressure because he's the local lad, and similarly you don't show any signs. Is there pressure on you? What do you do to kind of, or is what we see real?
Yeah, no, what you see is real. I mean, there's pressure on everybody. Not more so than the politicians over the last month. And stress can be seen in many ways. For me, I handle it quite well. I don't take the game home with me. I never have done and I keep saying, the family are the most important people to me and most people. So, I take the game in isolation. The players need to go and perform day in, day out to go and perform on a weekend. And sometimes performances can't get you the result because the results can be influenced in different ways. It could be a VAR decision, it could be a mistake, it could be a mistake from an official. And there's so many outside influences that can influence a result. But concentrate on your performances is what I always tell the players, and certainly that's what I do myself as a head coach.
And finally from me, Sheffield United seem to have kind of taken the Premier League by storm this season. They've had a settled side for some time, but even you, as someone who's known their abilities for a while. Have they surprised you how well they've done?
No, they've not surprised me. You know, they've become really tough to beat. I think they're unbeaten on the road so far. You know, but the thing that we can take into it as well, they've only won one more game than us this season. You know, so they finished 13 points ahead of us last season in the league. We've, you know, had to go and have a big turnaround during the summer. They've pretty much kept the same squad and added to that squad in 2 or 3 positions. So they've certainly got, you know, that stability that they had last season. You know, and they've carried that on well. We're a team that I believe's got an awful lot of potential and is still growing.
And do you use that with your players? You say, look where Sheffield United are, but everyone's lauding them. They've actually only won one more than us.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a lot harder to beat than we have, and that's the one thing that I feel that we need to improve on, and they've done really well. And you know, but they've, as I've said, they've got a really good squad of players. They've got a great management team who haven't surprised me what they've done this season.